Well, we appreciate that you're going to be with us every week, and what a win you guys had! And you had a great day, led the game in tackles with 15. I know that that wasn't necessarily how you guys drew it up, but how satisfying was it to see the defense rally in the second half of the game and you guys walk away with a win?
Hey, yeah, first a little easier to be here with you guys after a win, obviously. But no, I mean it's one of those. It's the first game. You don't quite know how it's gonna go till you get there, and definitely some things didn't go our way, but we found a way to make enough plays to win, and I think that was kind of the biggest takeaway for us for sure.
I want to ask you about tackling and the way it is now in the league, the way practices are, where tackling isn't practiced the way it used to be. And it's very important during training camp to keep people healthy, to not tackle to the ground. How do you make sure, and how does Matt Eberflus make sure that you guys are ready to do what you have to do when the lights are really on?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game has changed that way in terms of, training camp and things like that, just to protect guys, like you said. But I mean, from day one, that is honestly the first thing that we do as a defense is our tackling drills. So it might not be, live contact where you're trying to run through your own teammate on a practice rep, but you're also just making sure your technique is right, your angle's right. You're grabbing the hamstring the way you should be. You're running your feet. All those little technique things are something that we do daily here, and that's definitely something that Flus makes sure we stay on and we stay, alert of how we do during the games for sure.
It looked like inside of the game that Tennessee was kind of taking advantage of you guys' aggression early on. And there looked to be a couple little tactical changes that you guys made where the ends were had maybe wider splits, playing out like wide nine stuff. How do you feel like you guys were able to take back the game a little bit from them?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, I think coming out, the first couple series were actually really good series for us. We were able to get them backed up and get some three and outs and things like that. But at the end of the day, especially with Tennessee coming in, new coordinator, new staff, things like that. So you have an idea of what you're going to get, but you don't truly know until you see it. So I think once we kind of understood really where they were trying to attack us and things they were trying to do. We already went into the game plan with knowing that screens and outside runs are going to be something that they want to take advantage of and try to get to early. So I think in the second half, once we kind of realized exactly what they were trying to do, is just more so of us executing a little better and tackling a little better and things like that, kind of getting them behind the sticks, and we were able to make some plays from that.
Will Levis looked like he was in fairly decent command of the offense until he just wasn't, until things got just out of control. Do you sense that on the defense? Do you talk about was there a moment in the game where you started to feel like he's losing it a little bit, for lack of a better term?
I mean, I felt like, going into the game, we also knew that, he's a guy who can extend plays. He's a bigger guy, so he's, going to take some risks, especially on third down in terms of his legs, to try to make some things happen. But I think for us, it's all about getting guys, behind the sticks, right? And I feel like in the first half, we had some third downs that we didn't quite get off the field and things like that. And, as an offense, and you get into that rhythm, they started to build that confidence up. And I felt like that's kind of what we let them do in the first half. And I felt like in the second half, we kind of just buckled in, right? We took away the run game, which was something we knew that they had to rely on to kind of, open things up. And, with their coordinators, we knew that they were going to do a good job of kind of moving us and things like that. But I think as a whole, we kind of just buckled in and kind of, settled our feet and just did, played Bears football. And it was good to see in the second half for sure.
All right, I got a two-part question for you, TJ. One,
Here we go.
the halftime, everyone's kept talking about like how calm things were in the locker room at halftime. So I'd love to get your perspective on that. That's number one. Number two,
Yeah.
how hyped were you when the punt got blocked?
Yeah. Yeah. So, first part, I felt like honestly as a whole, we did such a good job of just everyone just taking a breath, right? I think, it's so easy in those games when things aren't going your way. It's the first game, it's the home opener. We go down whatever it was, 17-3 going into half. definitely a time where a lot of teams could flip and, guys start pointing fingers and, coaches are freaking out. And that wasn't the case in our locker room. I think in the past, I could have gone a different way. But I feel like just with the guys that we have in the building right now, and like the culture that we're building, there was no panic in anyone. And that was really cool to see. I feel like that was the biggest takeaway. And then the punt block, man, it's something that we kind of, you see the special teams working on all week, honestly, in prep for this game. And to see Hardy go out there, a dude who just, I thought, had an awesome camp, an awesome preseason, was super excited that he made the team and things like that. And to go out there and make a play like that, man, that was some old school football right there. So it was cool to see. And, Jo with the great scoop to go score. And I thought all day special teams was just dominant, man. They changed the game, and, plays like that, they get you going for sure.
Who does the talking on this defense?
Honestly, we got quite a few. I think we got a lot of, honestly, just characters in general we got on this defense, and it's a great group to be around. Obviously Maine has the green dot, so we're listening to Maine every snap to get the call and things like that. But I think everyone speaks when it's time, right? You got a bunch of different guys. You got, Kevin Byard, both Tremaine and I, Marcus Walker, you got Jalen Johnson. You got so many guys who have a voice, but also I think the way that we go about our business, we all understand that we're all leaders, and it's going to take all of us to kind of get these things done. So I would say it's a lot by committee, but I would say definitely, Tremaine has some great things to say, and guys really listen when he talks for sure.
From your point of view, going all the way back to last season, how has Montez Sweat changed things for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's an absolute force, right? He's someone who, needs to be accounted for on every play, because he can wreck the game for sure. And I think, whether he's getting the slide or he's getting, 2-3 guys at some point, it's just kind of chipping him as he gets to his rushes. But, it's definitely someone that we know that they have attention on. And for us as backers, obviously, having Tez for full offseason now, having that chemistry kind of build and, seeing what he sees, honestly, as a whole defensive line unit, kind of understanding that group a little bit better has only helped us, man. And, we know, third down that those guys are ready to go hunt. And, I'm excited to see kind of where that group goes this year, man, because it's an excited group for sure.
When you look at the tape of CJ Stroud and knowing what he did last season, really impressive for a rookie to be as good as he was, what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely as advertised, right? I think they got a bunch of weapons over there, and obviously just had a really good week running the football too, and that kind of only just opens things up for him in terms of the play action game, taking shots down the field when you kind of have to load the box if you're not stopping the run. So I know that'll be a point of emphasis for us this week. It's a really good football team, and we're excited because we know it's a great challenge. Sunday night, it doesn't get much better than that against a really high quality opponent. But they got weapons everywhere. Like I said, I think their backs are really good. Their offensive line is really good, and they got a guy who orchestrates it all. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be I know it's gonna be jumping in there too. So we're excited to get down there.
Well, it was certainly jumping at Soldier Field, and we know why.
Yeah.
We know why the fans were reacting the way they were, and it's because of the quarterback. Nothing against you, and nothing against the defense.
Absolutely,
but,
yeah.
but everybody knows that this is supposed to be the start of something special. Now, how do you go about your jobs? How does everybody just work on what they can control while also knowing the massive expectations for that young man?
Yeah. And as you guys know, I'm from here, so I understand around this time that there's going to be buzz around the city when it's football time. Number one pick, I get it all. And I think he's done such a good job of just being himself, right? Not trying to do too much, be the playmaker that he is. And also I feel like his confidence is building every single day. I think it's only just going to add for us because it's so fun when that place is rocking and it's jumping and people are into the game and, people care. They want to see, their team win. And, I don't blame them. So it's going to be a heck of a year all year. I think we're going to have, crowds like that all year round, just because like you said, I get that. Nowadays it's an offensive game and things like that, so people want to see it. But we're excited just anytime we get to play at home, with those fans, no doubt.
As you're growing up here, who were your favorites? I'm not going to limit you to a number, but who were your favorites? who were the players that you love to watch, and the ones that you were sitting there going, I want to be that guy when I grow up?
Yeah, I mean, we were serious about the Bears growing up. Like my dad, my mom, every Sunday. Dad, I don't know how many times I've had to listen to actually this show in the car. But we were, my dad is all Chicago sports and things like that. But I think growing up, it's easy to kind of gravitate towards Hester, just because of the plays he would make. But for me, like the defense is always so fun to watch, man. Like the Mike Brown, like Brian Urlacher, Briggs. I always gravitated to Briggs, just because I love the way he played the game. I think, both of those guys were so smart, and you can just tell by the way that they read things that they were so quick to the football and always making plays. And I think just the longevity they had here is something that's so cool, and I think so rare in our game. And for them to be able to do it at such a high level for such a long time, man, you got nothing but respect for it. You really do.
How much even now does it mean for you to put that uniform on?
It's cool, right? And I think it hit a little different this year, with the captain patch and things like that. It's something, I think something that's voted on by your peers, to have in your hometown, to have that is something that's really special and I take really serious. But I mean, it's the dream, right? I even think, just for the first time last year of putting that jersey on with, a bunch of people that I knew in the stands. And, now I'm really excited because I want to play well here. It was always the dream to kind of play here and that, but it's not enough for me just to be here. I want to, write my own name in this legacy and see where it goes for sure.
Well, TJ, we're really looking forward to this relationship throughout the year. And like you say, it's always more fun for you and easier for you to come on after a win. So that's within your control.
So win every game.
Just don't lose, and then it'll be fine. Yeah, just don't lose.
Hey, listen, I got a tough show coming up on Tuesday. We got to win this game, man. I don't know what you guys are doing. Yeah.
That's right. That's the right. That's prioritizing the right way. TJ, again, thank you so much. This is going to be a lot of fun, and we appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys next week.
That's TJ Edwards of the Chicago Bears.